by launching a full-scale counterattack and exploit further. Having comprehensively beaten the LTT counterattacks, troops gained confidence, creating an ideal physical and mental condition to continue with the operation. The engagement at Akarankulam was significant in few other aspects as well. Having been defeated comprehensively at the initial stages in a terrain which they selected, the LTT shifted its modus operandi to a semi-conventional defensive posture of ditch kum bans. In order to overcome the shortage of manpower, terrorists forcibly mobilized civilians and the earth-moving machines to construct ditch kum bans, violating human rights of the people held under their control. The LTT deployed a large number of civilians to defend 20-kilometer ditch kum ban to meet its manpower shortage and to preserve its trained cadres for counterattacks and future offensives. Taking control of the A9 road had been a major consideration during the operation. However, no initial attempts were made to capture the A9 road to ensure maintenance of safe passage for civilians, patients arriving from the LTT-held areas, and to transport essential items such as food, medicine, etc. for civilians who had been held forcibly by the LTT. But as operations progressed, the area liberated from the LTT kept on increasing, especially the area west of A9 road. Line of control to build combat power and logistic support has become important as existing lines of control became unfit for vehicular movements with the monsoons experienced. Hence, the necessity of taking control of A9 road became important and essential. With this backdrop, the Task Force 3 was raised in November 2008 at Malawi, creating another subsidiary axis in the Central Front. Initiating the tasks in relation to regaining of A9 road, the 5-7 Division captured Kokaville, an important junction point, on 5th November 2008. By then, heavy commitment and overstretching of terrorist resources in the Central Front, east of the resistance in the Western Front. Hence, by maneuvering rapidly towards north, the 5-8 Division liberated the entire western coastal line, including the LTT bastion in Punarin by 15 November 2008, despite adverse weather conditions. This opened an alternative land route to Jaffna, a much-awaited need of the Army. On 17th November 2008, the Task Force 3 captured strategically important Mankulam town, which was the gateway to north, east, and west from south. Progressing further, Task Force 3 moved in the house of darkness and encircled Olumadu by defeating the LTT. Then, exploiting the weakness of the terrorists, the Task Force 2 captured the road stretch of A9 road from Pulyankulam to Omantei and Pulyankulam to Kanakarankulam by 8 December 2008. This was followed by the Task Force 3 capturing the LTT airstrip at Iranamadu on 16 December 2008. The LTT northern defences in Muamale was consisting of two main defence lines running parallel to each other, which were heavily mined and trapped. The LTT strongly defended this narrow stretch of land with large number of cadres. Troops of 5-3 and 5-5 divisions, along with armour, mechanized infantry and artillery, continuously conducted limited operations in Muamale to degrade the LTT and deny reinforcements to the Wani theatre. As Wani operations were gaining momentum, the LTT had to cater its resources in multiple fronts, and due to continuous degradation caused, the LTT could not prevent the 5-3 and 5-5 divisions launching a concerted attack to capture the first line of defense on 14th November 2008, thus opening another front from the north. In the eastern front, terrorists were holding an 14-kilometer line of defense in the form of a ditch, Kumban, from Thannimurippukulam to Nayaru Lagoon. The area between the own baseline and the ditch, Kumban, was a large open paddy field, and the ditch, Kumban, was heavily mined with the LTT manning well-fortified bunkers at 100-meter intervals. Initially, having assaulted the ditch, Kumban, on a narrow front with small groups during night, the troops exploited up to 2 kilometers of the ditch, Kumban. Thereafter, by inducting more small groups through the gap created, the division invested its troops to the east, west and rear of the ditch, Kumban, thus compelling it to crumble on 7th November 2008. Meanwhile, the Task Force 4 was raised at Kalyanapura on 10th December 2008 with the intention of exploiting avenues or approaches between the Task Force 2 and 5-9 divisions fronts. Maneuvering in the Nedumkerni-Odusudan direction, the Task Force 4 captured Nedumkerni on 19 December 2008. Concurrently, amidst adverse weather conditions, on 1st January 2009, the 5-8 division, swiftly changing its northward advance, maneuvered eastwards to cut off the LTT from rear and captured Paranthan Junction, which was the gateway to Jaffna, Mullaitivu, Poonarin, after Mankulam, that supported the 5-7 division's effort too. By this time, although severely battered, LTT resisted very strongly in Kilnochi, as it was considered as their nerve center. In fact, LTT leader had boasted that capturing Kilnochi is only a dream of the Sri Lankan army. The LTT defensive posture of Kilnochi spoke well of that determination. Their main concentration was to stop Sri Lankan army advance from the south to north and west to east, as no significant defense lines positions were prepared to face any threat from northern direction. However, the 5-7 division, after fighting bitter battles, was successful in its fourth effort to capture the heavily defended ditch Kumban around Kilnochi township, proper amidst adverse weather conditions on 2nd January 2009. Loss of Kilnochi, the political and administrative nerve center, was a huge setback to the LTT, causing a colossal moral deprivation to its cadres, whilst losing trust and confidence of civilians they depended on.